Hello everyone, Tina here. Thank you so much for visiting me today. Today we are going to create a card using the Spellbinders Large Die of the Month Club kit. This is fabulous. This is a large background that has some beautiful floral detail in here. You can see how big it fits a slimline. Let me show you. It's a slimline beautifully. So the background is beautiful, but then you get some extra pieces in here as well. Today we're going to make a regular A2 size card with this, but I love the flowers in here. Fit perfectly in the open flower areas here. But the nice thing about these is that they're a Kaleidoscope. In fact, that's the name of our die set this month. It's called Kaleidoscope Floral Slimline. When I first saw this, I immediately thought of a very elegant card. And I wanted to do some very, very neutral tones. So we're going to be bringing in some neutral toned cardstock for my project. We're going to start by doing a little bit of die cutting. I'm going to die cut out this with white cardstock. And then I have these. Now this is the Kaleidoscope flower. You layer all three of these together and it creates a beautiful effect. There's tiles like this, there's backgrounds, there's squares. Spellbinders has a lot of Kaleidoscope items. And the flower just is so stunning. You're going to see in a minute how pretty that is. And then you also get some of the flowers that are in here that have etched detail, and then you have some leaves also, which are really nice. There's 4 leaves total, and then a small and a large of these flowers. So let's do some die cutting. I am using, again, neutral tones. I am bringing in some Silver Fox cardstock, and it is it's like a taupe almost, and I'm going to die cut out 2 sets of the Kaleidoscope flowers with this. I might need some more here. Maybe I can fit. No, I'll use both of these. So 2 sets of the flowers with the Spellbinders Color Essential Silver Fox cardstock. And then with this floral, we're going to die cut this out with some white cardstock. I'm also going to take the leaf die and die cut out some leaves with the silver, I want to call it tin pail, but it's Silver Fox cardstock. And then I'm also going to use Portobello, which is like a craft almost. I'm going to die cut out some leaves with that as well. So maybe a couple sets to go with the flowers, and then some white. Now since we're doing die cutting all at once, I'm going to also die cut out my sentiment. I'm going to keep it really simple, and this is a die set. There was actually the small die of the month club kit from September of last year. I like the sentiments in here, and I'm going to die cut out Love You. There's a shadow, and then there is your sentiment. So I'll die cut out Love You, the sentiment, with white cardstock. No, I take that back. Let's die cut that out with Portobello. And then we'll take the shadow and die cut that out with white cardstock. I think that's going to work out great. Okay, I'm going to run everything through my die cutting machine, and I will be right back. Now once I have everything die cut out, you can see how beautiful this is. Now I want to let you know too, if you were to die cut out 2 of these, I think if you were to layer them together, I think this would create a really pretty, let me grab some cardstock. I think this would create a really pretty belly band. This would make a real pretty wedding invitation too. You could just wrap these around the sides, and that would create a gorgeous belly band. So that's something that you could do with this also. If you wanted to die cut out your florals too, you could add your die on the inside of your outline. It fits there beautifully, and you can die cut out your florals too, and then that would create a really pretty belly band also. So that's a little option you could do with this. Now, as I said, we are going to create an A2 size card. And so I'm going to take some more of the cardstock. This is the silver fox. I'm going to trim down a card front panel, and then I'm going to take my beautiful pattern here and I'm going to place it on my card base to where I have at least 2 of my flowers showing. Since we die cut out 2 of the Kaleidoscope flowers, I think they'll look really pretty on here. So once I find my placement, I'm going to go ahead and flip this around and add some adhesive behind it. And then we'll flip this around and add this to our panel. And I'm making sure it's centered, so I have the same amount of space on the left and the right. I'm going to flip this around and we're going to trim off the excess. Lovely. Now we're going to go ahead and build our Kaleidoscope flowers. For this, I'm going to zoom in a bit. And I already layered my U and my love and U together. I layered my Portobello over the white shadow. So that's good to go. But these are your Kaleidoscope blossoms, and they are just so pretty. You could use your glue. I'm going to use my tape runner, but you just hear them all together. And you layer, and you could use different colors. Sky is the limit with this. I went for, again, just a tone on tone because I like the neutral look. And then you add adhesive around your second layer. Oops, carefully. And then you're going to go ahead and add that to your third layer. And it just creates the most pretty floral. Let me see. My camera. Isn't that so pretty? Now I'm going to go ahead and add this. Do we want to pop it up? I'm not going to pop it up today. I just think it's going to look pretty on its own. And I have to add a little more glue. I have some pieces lifting up here. So this is the areas where your tape runner missed. Okay, and then I'm going to add some adhesive behind my first flower we created. And we're going to directly adhere. Oh, should I put this upside down? Now after we have our panel adhered to our card backs, I think I need to zoom back out a little bit, give it a little more room. And then we're going to go ahead and add this right over our white area. And I'm not going to add foam adhesive behind it because I think there's a lot of dimension with those 3 layers. You can see here. But isn't that just elegant and gorgeous? I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to my second flower. Gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. Now we have these florals, and they're flower centers too, so we're going to add those as well. So let's use our glue and go ahead and add our flower centers. The larger ones go to the larger flower, and then the smaller ones go to our smaller flower. And we're keeping it elegant, again, going tone on tone. If you wanted to add a little shading, maybe with frayed burlap, you could. Lovely. Now for these, do I want to pop these up for a little extra dimension? Yeah, I'm going to pop these up with some foam squares. So we'll grab some small foam squares. And I'm going to add this to the paper. Sometimes it's easier to bring the foam squares to your card base. So pretty. Just love how elegant this looks. Okay. I have a little bit overhanging, so we're going to trim that off. And then we have our leaves. I die cut out 2 sets of leaves, one with the Portobello cardstock and then one with our silver fox. Now I did that because I want to add a little bit of that darker color, but I do want to layer them together. So let's layer 2 of the leaves together, and then we'll add a little glue and add our leaves. do the same. Before I add the rest of my leaves, I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment down. And now I have a flat area here that doesn't have any florals in it, and that's where I'm going to add my sentiment. So to do that, I want to die cut out some foam adhesive using the Love You. Let's take some foam, and I just have some double-sided tape here. We're going to add double-sided tape to both sides. And then I'm going to run this through my Platinum 6. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the release paper. Sometimes when they stay stuck in here, I like it because it's easier for me to add my background. Okay, I'm going to add you. You just line it up. Then I'll add my love. Then you can just pop them out. Minus the center. So there is you, and then we have love. Let's add our sentiment over here. I think that's going to work out great. And then we have extra leaves. Let's add them here. Kind of balancing out that darker craft colored cardstock. Really pretty. Now for bells and whistles, we are going to add some gems. These are the Gold Mix Color Essential Gems. And I'm going to add some large gold gems to our Kaleidoscope flowers. There's 2 flowers, so we'll just add 2. Let's add some small ones, some small gold gems too. I think that's so pretty. Okay, and then I think my white flowers need a little bit of love. So the flower centers, so I'm going to bring in, this is Ivory Seashell. These are Nuvo crystal drops. Oops. Keeping with the neutral tone, I'm going to go ahead and cover those flower centers with my crystal drops. And I'm just spreading it around that die cut center. I'm going to tap it just to flatten it just a little bit. And then that finishes off my card today. Very elegant, but neutral card. I think it'd be great for anybody and for any occasion. Even maybe a anniversary would be really nice. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.